If, like me, you're a fan of Master Oogway from Kung Fu Panda and his calm antiques and the wonderful advices that he keeps giving in all the movies about being calm, peaceful, mindfulness, etc., you're going to enjoy the book that I'm going to recommend today. It felt like having a conversation with Master Oogway, who was advising me on, be calm, mental peace, and yet winning over my opponent. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mehek. I hope you guys are all fine, and like always, I also hope that you guys are reading. Back with the book of the week. It's called Shaolin. It's How to Win Without Fighting. It's by a German author, Bernhard Moestl, and it was translated from German by Anya Malhotra. Now let's talk about the book. Now, Shaolin Temple is famous for martial arts. It is also famous, it's actually located in China. And it is also famous for its association with an Indian monk called Bodhidharma. It is said that he was the one who found Shaolin. Now, the Shaolin monks are considered to be the masters of Kung Fu. But the surprising thing is that the secret to their success, whether it is overcoming challenges, handling strength, or handling conflicts, is not their physical strength. It's actually their powerful mindset. Now, fascinated by this legend about Shaolin monks and their strength being their mind and not the physical strength, the author Bernhard, decides to take a trip to China and spend time with these monks at the Shaolin Temple. And he's quite surprised with the finding is that, the Shaolin monks believe and understand that it's the mind that really helps them to understand their own selves and the surroundings, to basically control themselves and their surrounding, and is the reason for their success. And so what the author has basically done is that, all the learnings and all the experiences that he had when he visited these monks, he has concised that or summarized that into 13 principles, the principles of Shaolin Temple, and he has shared that with us in the book. I think all the principles, or I would say the greatest lesson of the book, is that all the principles drive home one really important lesson, is that you become so good at fighting that you don't have to fight at all. I repeat that again. You become so good at fighting that you don't have to fight at all. And how do you do that is what the author has explained in the book. The best thing is that it's explained in very easy language. The author has given detailed explanations. He has given some really motivational quotes. And also there are certain exercises at the end of the chapter in the form of some questions and prompts in order to understand how your mind works or how your thought process works. And I think that is what is really helpful. So while there are 13 principles in the book, I have, noted down, I have it in the paper because I really wanted to share with you the 8 principles, which really stayed back with me. The first one is the principle of the present, which is quite easy to understand with the name, that the Shaolin principle basically urges us to be present at the moment without attributing any judgment to it, look at it with a fresher perspective, and also it urges us to live in here and now and accept everything with gratitude. That is important. So basically the whole idea about being in the present moment. The second principle is of mindfulness. So the Shaolin principle recognizes attention and mindfulness as really important. So it says that you should be mindful in the rituals of your daily life, because ultimately your mindfulness leads to greater insights and awakening. If you're focused in what you're doing at the present moment, only then will you get an awakening or insights. If you're distracted, it's not going to help. The third principle is of resoluteness. So basically, the Shaolin principles, kind of cautions us that you shouldn't want something if you're not determined to achieve it. So it teaches us that, you should only go after things in which you're completely committed with your whole heart. You know, it's either your wholeheartedness or nothing at all. The fourth principle is of detachment, and this was really one of my favorite principles. So usually, when we hear the word detachment, it sounds negative. It sounds like someone who is aloof and does not bother, but it doesn't mean that. So it says that the principle cautions us towards greed. So this detachment chapter talks about greed, and it says that greed is something that makes us vulnerable. So essentially, the principle of detachment teaches us that, to do things because we want to do them and not because we want to gain something in return. So there's an example that the author gives in the book, that next time when you greet someone, do that without expecting them to greet you in return. If you do this, you obviously do not give the opposite person any power to hurt you or make you feel any kind of emotions. Of course, very difficult, to be that person. But obviously, if you're on your path to spiritual development, enlightenment, or, just getting that peace of mind, I think it's important that we all work on, detachment, not giving the opposite person hold or power over our emotions. The fifth one is the principle of calmness. Again, this is something which is really important for all of us, especially in the crazy times that we live. So it says that, one of the greatest aspects of Shaolin monks or the fighters are that they do not have anger. They do not need anger. So the author says that, while a furious person has power, but they have no control over the situation or the consequences. So, the author is basically saying, or the monks, through their experience are saying that if you're agitated and angry, say nothing, just be calm. Slowly breathe in and breathe out, and wait till your spirit is calm and clear once more. So just be calm. The principle of slowness. Okay, this was also a good reminder for me, I think. So basically, Shaolin principle asked us to reflect, what have you gained by the increase in speed, that is fast life? And what has it cost you? It urges us not to allow ourselves to be rushed. Funny thing, we talk about technology, making everything easier for us, and, we are doing things quickly. But, there's always this thing of, is it leaving you time to do things that you would want to do or pursue, your hobbies? Is that happening? Or, yes, the technology is happening. Our fast-paced life is going on, but is that leaving us time to do things that we really would want it to do? So while everything is automated, we are still not left with time. We always complain that we don't have enough time to do things that we really wish to pursue. The seventh one is the principle of yielding. Again, this is very important. Here is an example or a quote that the author has shared. Stiffness is the companion of death. Flexibility is the companion of, life. So as we have heard in Hindi, famous muhavra that jhuka hua ped hi phal deta hai. So a tree that cannot bend will crack to the wind. The hard and stiff will be broken. The soft and supple will prevail. So it's important that you give in. You be flexible. Do not be stiff. And it's okay even to learn from your juniors. That's fine. The last one and the most important one, eighth principle that I really loved, is the art or the principle of letting go. And here the Shaolin monks teaches us that, you have to approach every situation with a fresh eye. You need to let go of your biasness that kind of cloud your judgments or your decisions. And it urges us to let go of tired and tested methods of preconceived solutions. So this is about solutions. So obviously, if you're approaching a situation with judgments and biases, you know that, okay, if I act like this, ye solution hoga. You're not really trying to change yourself or to look at it from a newer perspective or give a chance to a situation or a person. So I think that is what the author is saying, that you need to let it go and look at it from a fresher, newer perspective. So these were some of my favorite principles from this book. They're altogether 13. I've shared some of my best ones with you. Now, who is this book for? So I would just say, you know, all of us are living in crazier times. You know, there are rapid changes happening, and it's such a fast-paced life that we live in. You know, this suddenly stressful life, I would say. And we're constantly in a fight or a flee mode, you know, so fight or a flight mode, I would say, which means is, you know, either we are fighting the situation or we are going on a flight mode, like fleeing from it. And so if you're someone who really would, you know, is willing to sit down and break down and understand why do you react to, you know, unfavorable circumstances that really fire you up in a certain way, this book is for you. This allows you to kind of sit, reflect, and understand that it's not important for you to react to those situations that you are firing up. You know, you can just think back and respond to it rather than reacting. And because, you know, ultimately, like I said, the greatest lesson of this book is that you get so good, or, you know, you win even before fighting, even before going in the war, you've already won. And that will only happen if you understand that it's okay most of the times, or some of the times, to let it go. Stop forcing to change a situation or change someone or something. It's okay to let it go. So that is what I think was the biggest learning, or you know, a takeaway lesson from this book. So I would strongly urge you all to give this book a try. That's all on this book. If you have read it, please let me know in the comments. If not, let me know if you plan to read it. But that's all for now. I'm going to see you guys next week with another title. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.